Hey everyone, this is Erin Ashley Simon.
This is Brandon Killabh.
And welcome to another episode of Grassroots Podcast. Of course, if you're a fan, you know this is where we have influencers, hosts, celebrities, and just people who have really dope stories and opinions. Come on.
And legends.
And dope beards, too.
And yeah, beard gang. Let's be clear. Beard gang and legends for this episode. Let's be very clear on that one. So, I mean, the voice is distinctive. We'd like for you to introduce yourself and let people know.
It's your boy Freeway, Philadelphia Freeway in the building with the grassroots. You already know.
Finally. I love MCs, man. Can I just say how much, like, and we were talking about this early on. We were trying to, get you to come on. I always felt like you were one of the most underrated Rockefeller people that put out, like, really, really good albums and never got the notoriety that you should have.
I feel like that, too.
Well, at least we're in agreement. At least we're in agreement. Because, Lord, I'm like, yo, he makes great bodies of work. And I was talking to Royce about you as well.
Yeah, that's my boy, Royce.
Royce's family. He's been on as well. And we always said that.
Another great high-level MC.
Man.
Incredible.
I always said that I wish that you guys would get together. That's how the conversation happened.
I did a joint with them before. I did a joint on the mixtape before they put out their last album.
On the wait, Bar Exam.
What's the name of that joint?
Bar Exam 4.
They had a mixtape. It was like a house on the cover or something like that. And he dropped it before they, not Roy Solo, before they Slaughterhouse. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Slaughterhouse.
Our house. Yes, Our House project. Yeah. So I'm excited. So I mean, I guess let's get into it. We're gonna cover pretty much everything. So. First thing I wanted to know was, how did the Roc Nation deal come apart? Like, I know between the separation from Rockefeller and then going back to that same family. So talk to us a little bit about that.
I just basically reached out to Jay. We had we did the B-sides concert with him. Mm-hmm. When I had gave him some music, and I was like, I'm interested in coming back to the fam. Let's make it happen or whatever. Then I had an independent situation where I owed the independent company another album. So once I got that out the way, reached back out to him, like, let's make it happen. He like, it's nothing, let's do it.
That's got to be good, a great feeling. Especially something like that to still, still believe in your music after all of these years.
Yeah.
Now, how was that conversation as far as, like, your vision? Because I know, at least for a lot of seasoned artists that, go independent and then go back to a label, your perspectives are different and your goals are different.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so
like, my whole new situation is way better than any situation I ever had as a recording artist. I got a partnership with Roc Nation. I own my masters.
Fire.
So
that's fire.
Jay really laid it out for me, made sure everything was straight, and really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's dope.
So at this point, like, what does it mean to you as an artist to own your masters? I don't think a lot of people understand how important it is for any artist to have that.
It means everything. Like, I own my masters. I'm in control of my music. I could do what I want with it, and that's a blessing, and I've never been in that position before throughout my whole career. You know what I'm saying? So it's great.
And so you made several changes, several jumps with labels and just the groups that you've been around.
Yeah.
How have you felt that your music has progressed? And not even with, the influence and the kind of like the situations that you have with your health, but in general, how have you felt that your music has developed and grown over time?
I think it definitely has developed and grown as I developed and grown. If you're always studying your craft, you have no choice but to elevate. You're just like a basketball player, football player. You're in the gym, you're working at your art, you're going to get better. And, that's what I do. And, naturally I seen more of the world. I did more things, so I have a lot to talk about. I'm an artist that, I'm a reality artist. I rap about what I see, what I go through, things that surround me, things that affect me, my family, so as I have more trials and tribulations as life goes on, I grow.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to talk about growth because, and we were talking off air, obviously, I can definitely hear the growth in your music.
Thank you, bro.
And I can also hear that your cadence is different. I feel like there's more passion in it. And not to say that there was never passion, but there's something different when you deliver. It's almost like it's a humbling sound, if that makes sense. Like, when I listen to it now, I get a little bit more of you. I feel like you're a little bit more connected, a little bit more sound than what you were before.
Yeah, probably so, because I'm more connected, and with past projects that I dropped, I always read the reviews and everything. And a lot of things that the people were saying is like, you know, the albums are great, but you still haven't opened up to us. So I kept that in mind with this project, and I definitely wanted to open up more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I feel like I did a good job with that.
So when you have
Me keeping it, keeping it 100 and keeping it real, you know, it's passion in that. So it probably comes out through the music.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It connected with me more than anything. Like, this is the first time I listened, and I was like, oh, like, I'm learning something different. Like, I know you can rap. I know that you can do all these things. I'm like, I'm starting to hear the personal side. I'm very big into that. Hence, like, a lot of the artists that we've had on, like, we're big into stuff like that.
That's good.
I'm curious to know, you come from an era of rappers who didn't have social media. You came from an era where you sold tapes, actually CDs and everything like that. How have you noticed, you know, with your projects before versus now, the influence of social media and how it impacts you, your sound, label deals, music, compared to them before?
I mean, when I first came in the game, you know, you had to get in the van, you had to go from city to city, you had to actually touch the people, you had to take the DJs out for dinner, like, you had to really put your work in, you had to really be out there grinding. You know, and that's cool. Like, you know, that's where I come from. But the climate in music now, you know, and with the internet, social media and everything, you could press one button and your music can be heard by the whole world. You know, so, you know, it's cool. I like it, you know, and, you know, we definitely adjusted to it. You know, I'm real heavy on social media and, you know, I try my best to be in the mix.
Well, even with that, about opening up on social media, I was kind of surprised at like how you shifted. Like, a lot of artists, they try to stray away from their personal battles with sicknesses and things like that. You seem to be very vocal about it, and more so trying to inform people of, you know, the disease and how to go about it, and even some of the ups and downs that you've had with getting dialysis. I follow a lot of it. So I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Like, why did you feel it was so important to, you know, where most people would look at it as a weakness and hide it, you're approaching it head on?
Because the main reason why I felt as though I should do that is I was running around with 3 of the leading risk factors for kidney failure. One is just being African American. Another one is hypertension. Another one is diabetes. And I'm pretty sure if somebody would have pulled my coattail, I would have started to take the proper steps towards making sure that I don't let myself degrade like I did. You know what I'm saying? There was no one out there. I didn't, you know, I had a few examples in my family, like my uncle Chuck just got a transplant like 3 or 4 years ago. My cousin Shandia, she actually had kidney issues and she died because she wasn't taking care of herself.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry.
You know, and, you know, I had examples in my family, but I still wasn't aware or still didn't think that it would happen to me. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I can do to spread the awareness and just to open people's eyes and just to let them know, you know, this is a possibility. It can happen to you, especially if you have any of the ailments that led to me having kidney failure, like hypertension or diabetes, or just being African American. That's just a risk factor. So, you know, it's important what you put in your body, you know, what you take in, and, you know, just being from the hood and being from the inner city, we don't have too many choices.
And not enough information, too.
And not enough information. You know, we got corner store, liquor store, Chinese store, you know.
Which I have a whole nother theory about that purposely being done in inner cities.
Yeah, most definitely.
I 100%
leads back to the purpose of gentrification,
100%.
white flight,
yeah,
all that.
That's not done for just accidental purposes or a great opening. But yeah, not to cut you off, but I really, that bothers me when I see shit like that, because I believe that.
Yeah, so that's one of the main reasons why I'm vocal about it. We did a documentary called Think Free that will be releasing soon, and it covers my fight with kidney failure from when it first happened to present date. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I can do to inform the people, try my best.
Yeah.
So when it comes to hip hop is synonymous with wealth and also knowledge. When will it become synonymous with health? We've seen a lot of artists going through health problems. Everyone from, you know, Lil Wayne being in the hospital, Phife Dawg, rest in peace.
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. When will we get to a point where health is incorporated into the hip hop lifestyle?
Hey, we pushing for it. That's why I'm so vocal about what I'm going through. You know, we got brothers like Styles and Kiss and Chic, you know, with what they're doing with the Juices for Life. And, you know, we're getting older, so, you know, it's definitely important for us to take care of ourselves, and I'm glad brothers are taking the steps towards doing that. And, you know, hopefully it will help influence more people.
Mm-hmm. What was it like when you first? Because I it's almost like being at the pinnacle of your career, being like such a huge artist. You almost feel untouchable.
Yeah.
So when you then find out that you now have this disease and now you have to approach life differently and things differently, how does that work for you? Even rapping wise, you felt like it would kind of be a chink in your armor at some point?
I mean, of course, it was a huge smack in the face when it happened, a huge lifestyle adjustment. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that got me through, and probably the main thing that got me through, I'm pretty sure y'all know that I'm Muslim, and my faith in God, I know that, God won't put nothing on me that I can't handle. And that's the mind state that I had going into it. And, I never felt like, once I got through everything and I got put on dialysis and I seen how I would feel and I knew that I'd be able to move around and do stuff, I didn't really feel like it would affect my career too much. Yeah. I was more concerned with helping and informing the people so it won't happen to anybody else. You know?
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know, dialysis is the process of removing toxins essentially from your body, and that takes hours upon hours. Do you what do you do during that time? Do you spend that time reflecting? Do you write your verses and lines?
Right there?
I do different things. Like, it depends on the day. Sometimes I might read. Sometimes I might watch a movie. If I was in the studio the day before, I might go through some bars. Put some stuff together. It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I might just sleep. It depends on the day. Yeah. But it's definitely a good time for me to reflect. I have to do it 3 times a week, 4 hours a day, no matter where I'm at. Dog, you making a lot of noise over there. Yeah, I gotta do it 3 times a week, 4 hours a day, no matter where I'm at. Like, I was just in LA, we were just out there for the BET Awards. I had to do dialysis out there Friday and Monday. Yeah. So, it's a little weird just having, because I do it at home at my unit that I'm used to. So when I travel, I have to do it with different people. So it's a little weird, but it's still, the healthcare industry, so they try their best to make sure that I'm comfortable and everything, but...
What books and movies are you watching and listening or
all different kinds of stuff? Like, a lot of Islamic literature and stuff like that. A lot of different movies. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. So
everyone keeps saying, y'all gotta watch Game of Thrones.
You ain't watched Game of Thrones yet?
So check this out. This is my issue. This is my issue. Watch Game of Thrones, the first season, and spoiler alert for people that have never seen it. The main character dies in the first season, the king. So I'm thrown. I'm like, yo, I ain't never seen a show where the main nigga goes. I'm like, why am I watching the show?
It's so much deeper than that, though. Like, you will forget all about the king, and once you get to the second season.
That's what everyone keeps saying. As
soon as he dies, it's a new king. It's
different
his son.
threats.
Well, supposed to be his son, but it's so much stuff going on. It's like,
I really got to get back into it, man. I really do. Because when I was disappointed, I'm very big on watching shows and then, hopefully the show stays on. But I get mad when the show gets cut off when I really, really like the show. So I felt like that was the first sign, like, all right, they about to get these niggas out of here. Like, they killing the king and all types of shit. So I was like, ugh.
I felt like that, too. Like, when the king first died, I'm like, oh, this some bullshit.
Yeah, like...
It is so much more than that. And it's so deeper than that. You got really, when you got some time, you need to binge watch that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get back into it. Enough is enough.
We've been telling you.
I know.
We've been telling you.
I know. So I wanted to talk about, too, inspirations. This is one thing I never really found out about you as far as musically. Who are some of your inspirations? I would assume Jay would be, obviously. You guys have such a tight bond. That's a given.
But, like, before that, like, in my early stages, my influences like Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Draz from Black Sheep, Guru from Gangstar, then of course NWA when they came out, Scarface, Snoop, Pac, everybody, from my generation, like I'm pretty sure the same people that you love.
Yeah.
Inspired you is probably the same people.
Now, I'm thinking label, right? Because I keep saying that you're so seasoned. Did you ever think about you having your own independent artist and you being the front runner? Because like I said, people always say it's a common conversation of, yo, Free can put an album together.
Yeah, the way my situation is set up at Rock Nation, I can sign artists.
Oh, word.
And run them through there. And that's something that we're definitely going to get into in the future. I just wanted to crack the door open with what what I had going on. But we definitely set up to do that, and we're definitely gonna bring that to fruition.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Are you? I mean, obviously you have your own thing going on, and you're focusing on your health. But do you think this is like a perfect time to kind of start creating this? I wouldn't even call it a funnel system, but just bring more awareness to Philadelphia artists. Like now, like we're having more artists aside from Meek Mill and Lil Uzi Vert. Even Atlantic guy Bree Steves, and and now like Philly is being looked at the same way it was back then with you and Cassidy and some of the others.
It'll be Philly's year. We keep saying this on the show.
Yeah, it feels like we. First and foremost, we the champions. Shout out to my Eagles.
Yeah.
And, my Sixers we ain't go all the way, but we was balling, baby. And
Sixers went further than I expected, keeping it a buck.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a good time for Philly. Meek just came home. He doing his thing. Just dropped an incredible single. Mm-hmm. I just dropped the album. We got Lil Uzi Vert doing his thing. P&B Rock. Mm-hmm. There's so many people in the city that's coming up. Like my boy Ayo 215. It's just so many talented artists that's on the verge of really making something happen, man. It's a good time for Philly.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about Meek, because I know you obviously Philly brothers. What were some of the things that you were kind of helping him with as far as maybe keeping him up while he was locked down? Like, just kind of giving him strength?
I participated in all the rallies that he had. Mm-hmm. He just had a rally like a week and a half ago. I was there and I spoke at the rally. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of love for Meek. I was there when he the first time he went to court, and he was, when he got let out, like even before he started popping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we always had a good relationship. And besides that, I've been through what he's going through. I've been through the prison system in Philadelphia. And when I got locked up, I got charged with possession with attempt to deliver. I was like actually in a house working. And, they didn't have a warrant to come in the house. So when I get in the courtroom, they like, we seen him on the street. He was making a hand-to-hand sell on the streets and this and that. Yeah. And I'm like, these motherfuckers is lying. I wasn't in the street. I was in the house. But you can't fucking argue with the cops. It's a little black kid from the hood versus these two white officers that are officers of the law. So who's the judge going to believe, me or them? Like, so I'm like, I don't got no chance. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's how everybody feel when they go in that joint.
Yeah, I actually saw that Philadelphia has like one of the worst like turnover rates for probationary periods. Like a lot of people that go out during probationary, they end up going back in. From your experience, like why is it so important for us now more than ever to have prison reform and to fix some of these broken systems? Because there's people that are going to jail for things that they shouldn't be going to jail, or there's corrupt people that are putting black men into jail and just people into jail.
You see Meek. Meek is a millionaire, and he couldn't avoid going to jail for something stupid, for wheeling a dirt bike and for some issues he had in the airport with somebody that was being disrespectful to him. Mm-hmm. So when they put you on probation, they set you up to fail. They be like when I got put on probation, they like, oh yeah, I know you'll be back. You're gonna be back. We're gonna see you. Like you're going back to jail. Like that's the mind state that they have. They almost expect you to fuck up. And it's designed for you to fuck up. I'll give you a perfect example. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about the two brothers that got locked up that was in the Starbucks. Yep. And they wasn't really doing nothing, but they got locked up. Mm-hmm. That's a violation. Like if that was Meek, and even though he didn't do nothing, but just his interaction with the police and him getting locked up and going to the district, that's considered a violation. And that could send him back to prison to do 2 to 4 years. That's some bullshit, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is.
It's like they set you up to fail is not fair at all. And something that I just learned a few days ago from my old heads, I didn't even know that they set up originally they set up the police to gather up the slaves, like the runaway slaves and all that from the beginning. I wasn't even aware of that. So that's crazy. Like the police system was originally set up to gather runaway slaves and all that stuff. So that's the mentality of these police officers.
Yeah,
like it started after the Civil War, Charleston, South Carolina. Actually, that's where that started, and then it trickled over to these areas. Yeah. And again, it's hidden now. Like I really feel like, to your point, when people get locked up, you are targeted, and if if by chance you don't mess up, they'll find a way to make you mess up.
Exactly.
Case in point, Meek. You know what I'm saying? To get locked up for a Willie, that's got to be the dumbest shit ever. And then I saw an update today where I guess Meek was trying to get off his out of the court situation or whatever, or get it moved. That same judge is still targeting him. Yeah. And it's like, why isn't that no one does anything about that? Especially more now than ever. You know what I'm saying? So many corrupt cops. Yeah, like so many corrupt cops were found out during that time.
And the officer that locked Meek up, they found to be corrupt. Like, there's a lot of cases getting overturned that he had, and she still don't want to throw Meek case out. Like, you know, and it has nothing to do with nothing else but that he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And she got a hard on for him.
That's crazy.
Well, Jay is someone who's getting heavily involved in prison reform. Like he is getting involved in organizations that are dealing with that. I think they're like developing like an application to kind of assist with it. Is that something that you may be interested in getting involved with? Of course, you're going to be an advocate for kidney disease and health, but this is something that also is plaguing the Black community and also hip hop.
I'm involved. I'm in it. Like I told you, I'm like every rally Meek had, I was there to speak. You know, I'm involved in it. Police in Philadelphia killed my first cousin, my cousin Raheem Pridgeon, a few years back. Damn. You know, and they said he had a gun on him. He didn't have a gun on him. He just got shot probably like 6 months before that. So he had like a little limp when he walked. Mm-hmm. So they thought he was reaching for a gun. They killed him. They got desk work probably for a couple weeks, and then nothing happened after that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We had to bury him, and they back out on the streets. Killers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Badge killers really walk the earth the way that they do, and with no repercussions.
Well, there's good and there's bad people.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Not all cops are bad.
I mean, like in anything you do in life, is good people and there's bad people. I'm pretty sure it's good officers that uphold the law and do their job, but just like it's good officers, it's corrupt officers that don't give a fuck and they want to see you fall and want to see you down.
Yeah.
Like,
what about the health systems within prisons? Like, you know, obviously when people go to prison, like, is it something where certain jails or certain establishments they'll get good health, or is it something where, like, for example, if someone has diabetes and they go to jail, is there appropriately set up health programs to keep them alive and keep them okay?
As far as I know, you know, I haven't been in the prison system in years. As far as myself, you know, when I went through that, I'm like, I'm not going back. You know what I'm saying? I learned my lesson. But as far as I know, you know, they definitely take care of you. You know, they give you your meds and everything. And there's brothers that's in jail that's on dialysis, and you know, they are able to get their treatments in there. Because if they didn't, that would be inhumane. Like, you know, if you don't get your treatments for a certain amount of time, you could die. So they can't do that to people. But the healthcare system is fucked up. It's probably worse on the streets. Because on the streets, if you ain't got insurance, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Plus, has a huge liability anyway. They're not going to take the chance of not taking care of inmates in certain regards, I guess, when it comes to medical situations. But let's pivot a little bit. I really want to get into the project. So talk to me about this. We've already gotten to the part where, you know, you wanted to open up. Why did you feel comfortable at this point, out of all times?
I mean, it's just where I'm at with it. You know, I'm a grown man. You know, I did everything. Yeah. You know, I done seen it all. I did it all. Signed every autograph, took every flick, as the great Jadakiss said. And, you know, I definitely feel as though it's important to open up, especially with what I'm going through with the health and everything, you know. So that's what I did, and I'm getting a great reception from it. Yeah.
What's your favorite record on the album that you wrote that was maybe near and dear to your heart? And also, I want to know what inspired you to write it.
I really can't pick a favorite record, but I would probably say All Falls Down. Okay. You know, just because, you know, throughout all my trials and tribulations, everything I've been through, one thing I realized is God is always there for me. And, you know, sometimes it's easy to forget that, but you always got to keep it in your mind. That's why on the hook, I'm like, you know, my auntie told me you don't forget that God with you. My mama told me you don't forget that God with you. Nuri Muhammad told me, I see God in you. So don't forget that God with you. God bless you. Like the brother Nuri Muhammad, he's like the understudy for Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? And I seen him one day at the Brooklyn Bowl. No, it was the Brooklyn Festival, I think. Yeah. And he was like, it's a lot of artists that I see, but he's like, you one of the artists that I see, and I really see God in you. You know what I mean? I took that to heart. That's why I threw that in the hook.
That's deep.
Whatever.
That's actually really deep.
The record, you know, the whole basis of the record is no matter what you go through, God is always there for you, man. When even like when my kidneys failed and all my homies started disappearing and all that, God never left me. He was always there. You know.
Yeah. That's got to be heart-wrenching in itself, though, like to be close with so many people and then you get sick and then you got really no one to turn to. Like, how does that work? Like, do you still see these people now? They're like, oh, Free's better. Like, what up?
I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I'm not going to extend myself as much as I would have. You know, a few people had to get the scissors, you know, but the ones that I still deal with, I just know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I guess that's the best thing. I have an interesting question. New up-and-coming artists today, if you could mentor one of them, who would it be?
New up-and-coming? It would probably be, you know, the brother Rollo.
Okay.
That got locked up. Yeah, because he Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So if I really had the chance to chop it up with him, you know, I'm pretty sure I could probably help steer him in a better direction. Not saying, you know, I mean, he's locked up right now, and not saying what he was doing before he got locked up was fucked up. I mean, he was successful and, you know, he was taking care of his family. But, you know, I'm pretty sure if I got to chop it up with him, I could, you know, give him some good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, interesting enough, there's been a lot of situations with young artists and people have been, especially OGs, like even like Joe is saying that some of these young artists don't understand about street life and how street life doesn't care about music, it doesn't care about anything. And as someone who has grown up in the streets of Philly and has matured even as a person and musically, what's your advice and how can people who are older or old heads or just people within hip hop help these young artists understand like the street is rough, like you can't play around with stuff like that? The
best way to show anybody or to teach anybody is to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you definitely reach out, tap them on the shoulder, you know, try to give them some good advice. Because you really don't understand. Like, just being in the mix, it happened to Tupac. Like, when Tupac got shot, he like, I can't believe these motherfuckers shot me. I'm doing this shit for y'all. Like, I'm out here repping for y'all. I'm doing this for y'all. And I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of artists feel. But, you know, the streets don't care. Like, they unforgiving. Like, you know, niggas hungry. They got opportunity to try to take advantage of you or get at you. They gonna do it. You know, so it's a cruel game, and it really should start with the youngins, old heads that's around them and that they grew up under. Like, should be the ones that's really giving them direction.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's kind of what happened. I think with the Drake and Pusha situation where you had Jay Prince step in like, yo, this is getting messy. Like, I think people need the top tier people to kind of step in and just kind of give guidance. I think more of that would kind of prevent a lot of things. And especially even being an artist, there's always that machismo thing where there's a very, very thin line between being an artist and then having to prove that, you know, a lot of the lyrics that you're saying.
I'll give you a perfect example, not to cut you off. This was years ago. You know, I told y'all Tretch was one of the artists that I looked up to or whatever. So we had a show with them niggas, and we was like staying at the same hotel. And this was like around the time we was beefing with the Locks and all that. So they had called me and Mac, like some of Tretch people, and it was like, Tretch wanted to talk to y'all. So I'm hyped, like, oh, that's Tretch. I'm like, all right, come on, Mac, let's go talk to Tretch. So we go talk to Tretch. And Tretch like, yeah, man, y'all really need to stop the beefing, and like the shit ain't good for the music, and Mac like, man, I'm Tretch, I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm like, Mac, that's Tretch, nigga, chill out. Like, listen to what Tretch got to say. Mac like, free, man, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. But he was trying to school us, like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I definitely respected it because I had a lot of love for Tretch, but you know, this is a perfect example how two different people had two different mind states about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though, not for nothing, I was with Beans. That's probably one of the most classic battles ever in life. That shit, I don't think they'll ever have anything like that ever again. Like, that was a moment. That's when niggas was dropping records like 12 hours apart. Like, you knew not to go on vacation, don't go nowhere. So, I mean, shout out to Tretch, but I'm rolling with Beans. I'm rolling with Beans on that one.
Yeah.
How is Beans, too? What's he's doing?
He's doing good, man. He's doing good. He got a lot of music, a lot of great material. Hopefully, he about to start releasing it soon. You know, he just had a new baby. You know,
okay,
he's doing good, man. He's doing real good. We still, you know, be doing a lot of shows together.
That's what I was gonna ask. So are you guys still touring together? Because I know State Prop is still fluent.
We still get a lot. We still get a lot of shows together.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So catch us somewhere together.
Yeah, word. I need a ticket or something. I gotta see. I mean, I guess that's really it. I mean, I'm fascinated just by your journey. I'm definitely going to keep paying attention to it because I think it's important, especially just how you're conducting yourself. And again, the maturity is important, I think.
Most definitely.
And I like that you're bestowing a lot of knowledge on the younger people, especially black folks, because we need that now more than ever.
Yeah, it's needed, man. Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, I guess if
you even see my boy Meek, you know, starting to, you know, drop some science on him with his new single that he got.
But even that, talk to me. What's the difference that you see in Meek now? Like Meek before he was locked up to Meek now, because we said it a lot. He's different. He's mature. Even
I mean, he always gave you good material, and he always gave you a street perspective from his eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it's just now he's just being a little more open, and you know. He doing it for the people. Yeah. Now, even more than what he did before.
There's a maturity with him. We said this before. I'm not happy it happened to him, but I think he was the perfect candidate to then take things.
What I feel about it is he realizes his position and he realizes what he needs to do.
Definitely.
He's taking full advantage of it and he's doing it, man. And it's good, man. You know, because it's needed. You know, Meek is right now like the youngins. They love him. He's on top. He has everybody's attention, so who better than him to put the message out there, you know? And, you know, his situation, how the people have been taking advantage of him and how he haven't been getting a fair shot. You know, he's the perfect person for it, man. I'm glad that he's stepping up and being that spokesperson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you too. I mean, outside of that, what else can we expect from you? You dropped the album. What else are you working on?
Just more music. You know, I'm like 16, 17 in on the next project.
Oh, you already locked in?
Yeah, we working, man. We not stopping. You know, this just the beginning. I feel like this was just opening the door. You know, getting people familiar with me back on the mainstream. Okay. And we ready to go, man. You know, more. You know, movies, music. Mm-hmm. You know, we here to conquer it all.
Yeah. Well, we'll be definitely looking out for it.
Appreciate it. Hopefully some more collaborations with me and Royce for him one time.
Yeah, that needs to happen. I'm calling Royce. That needs to happen because I feel like certain artists bring out the best in people, and I feel like you're one of those people that when you get on the record, it comes across clear of what's happening or what's about to happen, I should say. So yeah, definitely, I'm going to scream at Royce about that. Mm-hmm. But with that said. Definitely check out Free's project, Think Free. Amazing body of work. And also, obviously, his social media. It's very inspirational, and as well as it's insightful. With that said, I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm the best beard in the business, Philadelphia Freeway.
Hey! And we out.